Hey, folks, and welcome to Community Connection and live update from your police department about all the good stuff the past 7 days in the city of Mount Juliet related to your police department. And with us today is Rich Frankich, our administrative services manager. So, Rich got a promotion, which is awesome. And Rich is here joining us. So now I just can't call you record supervisor. I have to say administrative services manager. So, congratulations, Rich, and welcome to the broadcast. And thanks for helping me.
Thanks, Cap. Glad to be here as always.
All right, good deal. See a lot of folks joining too. There's about 68 of you watching live. I hope you all stay because we're going to give out a gift card. Let's see, where is it at today? To Moe's Southwest Grill. This towards the end of the broadcast, but we have Lisa joining us saying good afternoon, and Judy, a lot of others, Danny as well, and John Cody, saying good afternoon all, and thanks for your help with the gas line rupture in Kelsey Glen yesterday. You're welcome. Our officers and firefighters were on it, so we were able to get that handled fairly quick. And a lot of congratulations to Rich for the manager promotion. So good stuff there. And Rich, I also see, I hope you're feeling better type thing. And I guess everyone thinks you're the only community service officer that we have. And just out of privacy for our community service officer, we're not going to give the name who was involved in the crash. But Rich, it was not you, right?
It was not me.
Not you. And community service officers are our civilian component of the police department who respond to emergency incidents that do not need arrest powers or a police officer there. And they also help our officers too at other incidents to help with traffic control. But we'll talk a little bit more about that in the broadcast today. But Rich was not the CSO out there. It was one of our other CSOs that we have. All right, Rich, take it away.
All right. Well, real quick, thank you to everybody for the congratulations, and we'll definitely pass along your well wishes to my partner. I appreciate it. Yeah. So jumping right into our numbers for the weekly update this week, we're covering July the 1st through July the 7th. And getting right into our numbers, we had 1,144 police calls for service this week, 52 fire department calls for service, 16 crime reports, 60 arrest charges, 486 traffic stops, 235 citations, 28 non-injury crashes, and 5 injury crashes. And rolling into the crime reports, we had 5 family disturbances, 5 property damage reports, 2 burglary reports. One of those was a vehicle break-in, one was a business break-in. 2 fraud reports, 1 harassment, and 1 simple assault. And on the arrest charges this week, we had 18 arrests for driving on suspended or revoked driver's license, 11 warrant arrests, 9 no DL arrests, 5 for simple possession of drugs, 4 possession of drug paraphernalia. And the 2 category, we're looking at felony drug offenses, shoplifting, theft of a motor vehicle, and move over law. And in the 1 category, we had a DUI, domestic assault, unlawful removal of plate or sticker, a trespassing, and one we don't see often, a failure to surrender plate or registration upon suspension.
That's a unique one there.
It is for sure. And then on our neighborhood and traffic enforcement efforts, had some real good busy week this week here. Covered Park Glen, Nicholsvale, Old North Green Hill, Maricourt Street, Curd Road, Belinda Parkway, Jackson Hills, South Mount Juliet Road, Golden Bear, Hickory Hills, Kelsey Glen, Tuscan Gardens, and Lebanon Road, Park Glen area. Total of 106 stops, 62 citations, and 6 arrests. Some real good proactive numbers there.
Yeah, for sure. And folks, these numbers here are not from all of our police officers. The numbers that we showed about the 436, that was all of our police officers department-wide. But these numbers here are the officers specifically who go out to neighborhoods to focus on traffic enforcement in those areas. And they do good work. The number one complaint that we have here to the police department is unsafe driving in neighborhoods. So we want to have a dedicated unit to that. And these folks with our community engagement unit, there's a traffic enforcement group there, and those who went out to the neighborhoods here to do that enforcement. So we really appreciate all their hard work and working to keep our neighborhood streets safe.
Yeah, for sure. And then moving on to the Guardian Shield program, we ticked away a few extra numbers here this week. We're up to 74 stolen cars, 39 stolen plates, 3 stolen trailers, 1 missing juvenile, and 20 wanted persons.
Yeah, Rich, we were talking about this earlier too. In June, we had 4 successful interceptions. The amount of hits in June were just lower. But then in July, so far, in 8 days, we've had 5 interceptions so far in July, and it's only been 8 days in. So it's kind of interesting. We usually see this come in waves when we get more active hits on the system. Really no science behind that. I don't know how to explain it other than the fact that sometimes it's busier than others. And it seems to be a busy month so far for us in relation to stolen vehicles and wanted people entering our community. Thank goodness we have Guardian Shield that watches for this, and our officers are able to intercept them and take them into custody before any harm or any crime could be committed against our community.
Yeah, for sure. It does a great job. And that's all I got for you on the stats.
All right, good deal. And today you may have seen a lot of police officers out, including our detectives, going through a traffic safety blitz. Their focus was seatbelt violations. They started at 8 a.m. this morning and went till about noon. 64 traffic stops, 37 citations were issued, and out of that, 17 of those were for seatbelt violations. And there was about 20 other charges that were discovered throughout the blitz that they made stops on related to expired registration, the Tennessee hands-free law, careless driving, speeding, lane violations, improper tag display, and red light. So every so often we dedicate a lot of resources to traffic safety blitz just to bring awareness to laws that we see are not being followed as best as they could, such as seatbelt use, speeding, red light runners, stop sign violations. And we do these blitz every so often throughout the month and dedicate different resources beyond just our patrol officers. So the officers who participate in this come out of our administration, come out of our detective division, come out of our community engagement unit, and they focus on this to try to bring more awareness to whatever issue that we see. So all good results. Of course, we don't want to have to stop anyone for these violations, but and to avoid being stopped, it's simply just follow the law as best as you can. But you can see, though, too, the goal isn't a bunch of citations. Out of 64 stops, they only issued 37 citations, just like the previous numbers that you saw for the 7 days for the entire department. 436 traffic stops, but only like 260-something citations. So the goal is definitely not citations. The goal is truly to make our roadways safer and bring awareness. And sometimes a warning is sufficient, and sometimes a citation is necessary because they may have a history of constant bad driving behavior. And if a warning doesn't work, then you have to continue to enhance the, I guess the punishment in that case would be a citation. Yesterday, we talked more about this in a special incident update yesterday as well. But a construction crew ruptured a gas line about 9 in the morning, and Kelsey Glen, that section of roadway on Oxford Drive, was closed for about 2 hours until that could be repaired. Our officer was in the area on patrol, actually doing traffic enforcement in the neighborhood, when a construction worker came up to him and said, "Hey, he just ruptured the gas line," and they began to evacuate the immediate area to keep everything safe. And it all worked out. The utility crew came out and repaired the gas line, and everyone was able to go back to their homes. But about 30 homes were affected with the evacuation. We think around 50 residents were affected in that. They were able to leave in their vehicle and just go elsewhere. Some just went down the street and parked at the pool area while everything was being repaired and then rendered safe. But we appreciate everyone's cooperation in that. Thankful for our police officers and firefighters and utility crews who got out there pretty quick to keep it all safe. And you can see here's an image of the scene, and the trucks you see are with Piedmont Natural Gas, and you can see the backhoe over there where they're working doing all the repairs. And also this week, one of our community service officer vehicles was hit from behind while out helping a disabled motorist. We got a call from a wrecker driver who was going out to help a disabled motorist who was parked up against the inside wall just before the overpass, Interstate 40 westbound. And our community service officer got out there, activated the lights. The vehicle itself has extra high visibility graphics on it, tons of flashing lights, including a high mounted arrow board, which gives even more attention to communicate to drivers of where they need to go should there be a hazard ahead. And a Toyota Prius just slammed in the back of it, sent our vehicle about 75 feet forward. During that, luckily, our community service officer was in the vehicle, saw the crash about to occur. He was able to take his foot off the brake to limit impact and braced himself as the impact occurred. and luckily no serious injuries. They were both treated at the hospital and since released with no impacting injury. But Rich, you're part of this program here. Some people, everyone can see these vehicles driving around town, but it's a super big help to our police department because there are many incidents that police officers respond to that don't necessarily need a police officer. We can have civilians do that, and our civilian CSOs are trained. They receive the same training that our police officers do in relation to the non-law enforcement type activities such as traffic incident management. And they help our community out tremendously with directing traffic, responding to vehicle lockouts, conducting extra patrols on businesses and residents, responding to traffic collisions, and also going out to the interstate to help motorists who are stranded, whether it be a flat tire, disabled vehicle, whatever it may be. But always a super big help. They're kind of like a citywide TDOT help truck. They were able to perform a little additional duties related to city functions than TDOT would do because TDOT just focuses on the interstate. But again, super big help. They have bright vehicles with bright flashing lights. If you're paying attention, you should be able to see these vehicles. And unfortunately, in this incident, it was rear-ended, totaling the vehicle. Thankfully, the other vehicle did not hit the wrecker because that wrecker is not going to give as easy as that truck gave. And it could have been a more serious crash if the wrecker was hit. So it all turned out, I guess, as best as it could be considering what did occur. Rich, any comments?
Yeah, you hit it right on the head, Cap. All things considered, that little car hitting that pickup truck, it went as well as it could. My partner was able to get out of that truck and first check on himself, and then he immediately rendered aid to the other driver. I believe she had a service animal in the vehicle too. Then checked on the animal, and everybody was okay. So yeah, all things considered, it was about as good of an incident as we could have had, considering what it was. So, and thank you again, everybody, for all the well wishes. He's doing very well.
Yeah, we appreciate everyone's prayers and concern. It means a lot to us, but we know we have a community that really supports its police department, and we appreciate each of you. I love this photo. I just had to share it, Rich, because I know I can't jump that high. But I guess last Friday I was out working. I heard some officers out at a call for service at the Willoughby Station Common area, and they were out there for a while, so I was going to drive out there and see what they were doing. And it was three of them just playing basketball. So you have Officer Holtmeyer with the high jump there, and Officer Birdie on the right, and Officer Favors on the left, just having a good time playing ball. So it's just we are blessed as a community to be able to have the opportunities to hang out with our community in a positive way and just interact in whatever way that we can and build relationships. But it was a very, very good time. I was able to watch, I guess, half of the basketball battle, and they did pretty darn good. I was pretty impressed. They wouldn't want me on the court, right, Rich? You've seen me play basketball, and I just don't know how to explain it. But it's
you would have helped the team a lot, the other team.
Yeah, I would have helped the other team a lot. But you don't want me trying to play basketball. It's a sight to see. It's funny. I always make this joke when people say if I have basketball skills. As a kid, in the youth league, I played basketball for like 5 years, and you know how many times I made a goal in those 5 years, and that was one time in 5 years. So they knew not to give Tyler the ball because I'm not good with trying to get a basketball in a goal. Something about it, I'm either too hard with it or too soft with it. It just never goes in. Rich, what about you in basketball? Are you pretty good at that?
I was never a basketball guy. I was back home. My sport was hockey.
That's right. Back home, you were the hockey thing. Cool. Just always giving a shout out to our youth program. They have a fundraiser coming up Friday, September 17th. If you play golf, come out and put a team in. All the funding goes to our youth program with Police Explorers, where our officers mentor folks in high school about the law enforcement career. Super great program. They're able to ride along. They perform a lot of community service, but they also begin to receive training in law enforcement so they can become more well-rounded and a lot easier to go into the police academies wherever they get picked up at. But a lot of our police officers today have gone through this program, including myself. So it's a great, great program. I want to give a shout out to Music City Polish Pottery. So we like to give community announcements on this broadcast as well. We don't get many requests for that, but we did receive a request from Music City Polish Pottery. They have a pop-up shop coming up Saturday, July 10th from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the Billy Goat Coffee Cafe. So if you like this type of pottery, if you like coffee, this is a great way to support 2 local Mount Juliet businesses ran by Mount Juliet residents. This Saturday, July 10th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Billy Goat Coffee Cafe. And Rich, I used to not know what this type of pottery was until I asked my mom. She collects this stuff, actually. Polish pottery. It's a white base pottery with a lot of the blue accents. So it's pretty stuff. It's not my thing, but I see the interest in it, and my mom loves it. I'm pretty sure she's going to end up going by the pop-up shop to check it out come this Saturday. Have you heard of Polish pottery before?
I have. I've got some old family members that still have some old collections of that stuff.
Yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, folks, if you ever have a community announcement that you would like us to give on this broadcast, just email myself or Rich, and we'll be glad to give a quick plug in. As long as it's Mount Juliet related and helps our Mount Juliet citizens, we'll put it out there. All right, Rich, how's our weather looking?
Not too bad.
Is that storms approaching us?
Yeah, it looks like we're having a few little pop-ups coming at us. I think it's just because we're so warm right now.
Gotcha. It's supposed to rain.
Partly cloudy and sitting at 88 degrees. They're saying we may have a slight chance for some thunderstorms this afternoon. Mm-hmm. And if we look at the overall forecast for the rest of the week, they're calling for just a slight chance of isolated storms throughout the week in most of the Middle Tennessee area, but it's just going to be spotty pop-ups mostly. And we're looking at, upwards of 70% chance to 80% chance through the weekend. But they're saying we're supposed to be in the mid to low 80s to low 90s come middle of next week. So I think the warmer it gets, the more likely we're going to see those showers popping up.
I gotcha. Good deal. I'm hoping I can go kayak sometime next week. I have not been yet this season, and I need to get out there. So hopefully the weather cooperates. It looks like it's going to be fairly not as hot as it usually is. Mm-hmm. So it should be pretty good. Awesome. Good deal. What do you got planned this weekend?
Oh, probably just going to get out on the road at some point and have a little fun on the road.
I got you. Good deal. Go out there and serve like you always do.
Yep. Work too much, sleep too little.
We appreciate you, man. The good thing is we were already in process of trying to find a replacement vehicle for the one that was struck. So we are going to get that back in service soon so we can have both of our trucks out there, not just one. All right, let's give away a gift card to Moe's Southwest Grill on the south end of town. So if you would, to be eligible for this, a little bit new rules here. You have to live in Wilson County or a county connected to Wilson County. We just want to be sure that folks local to our community are eligible for this and not someone from out of state somewhere. But if you are in Wilson County or a county that borders Wilson County, you are eligible for this gift card. So if you win, just email myself your address, and we will either stop by and drop it off, or we will mail it to you. So you know the drill. Type in hashtag MJPD Live, just like you see it. No spaces before or after or in between, and you'll be eligible for this. And I'm also going to put my email in the chat. If you're a winner, please email me so I can get this to you.
And incidentally, while we're letting folks get their entries in there, Linda and Chris from last couple of weeks, I hadn't forgot you. I still got you on my desk. I'm going to get you today.
Okay, cool. To still drop off. I got you. Good deal.
Yeah, just had a busy last week or so. So
yeah, what have you been doing?
Well, we've just been busy
for our gift cards, huh?
I've been neglecting it. I know.
I got you. No, you're fine. If you need me to help you, let me know. I'll be glad to go drop it off myself.
Yeah, but we'll get them caught up tonight.
Cool. Sounds good. So we'll get those gift cards to you. If you haven't got it yet, Rich has been hoarding them. I know sometimes Rich likes to put his name in for this. So that's one of the other things. So we had to just limit it a little bit. But resident of Wilson County or a county connected to Wilson County. All right. I'm seeing entries still pop in. So just want to give everyone a chance. Right now, there are 32 entries. So if you can, get it in there, and we'll do the draw.
And one more real quick thing while we're waiting for the last few entries to get in there. Wanted to throw a quick shout out and a thank you to everybody who came out to the Masonic Lodge on Saturday for the 4th of July weekend fundraiser barbecue. We had a great turnout. They sold out really quick. Raised a lot of money to put back into our charitable funds for the community. So huge thank you to everybody who came out and enjoyed some barbecue and got some barbecue to take home. It was a fantastic event. So just want to throw out a big thank you. And thank you to everybody who came out and helped us work as well.
Good deal. Rich, did y'all meet your goal? I know y'all try to raise, what, 10,000?
Yeah, we shoot for 10,000 every year, and we came just a little bit short of that mainly because we cut down the amount of meat we had this year.
Okay.
But we sold out and made some great money, so we were pretty happy.
And y'all all turn that back in the community, so that
every bit of that we turned back into our charitable and philanthropic outings. So
yeah, very cool. Karen says the pulled pork and sides were great, so good deal. All right, let's go for a draw, folks. Let's see who we got. Who's going to win the gift card to Moe's? All right, Carrie Fawcett, good deal. So Carrie, if you can, email me your address and Rich will eventually get the gift cards to you. So apparently it takes him a bit, but you'll get a gift card eventually. But thank you so much for everyone who put in for this and who's watching this broadcast live. It truly allows us to reach our community in a lot easier manner than having a bunch of community meetings, because we never get 64 people at a community meeting. We may have 5 or 10, but watching live now, we have about 64 of you. Then once these broadcasts are over, they continue to be watched and typically reach about 2,000 to 10,000 views, just depending on what type of conversation that we are having. Typically the incident stuff, the flooding, the tornado, they get a lot of views. But we don't want to have the bad incidents to get views. We really just want to reach our community and just give our community a way to interact with their police department, ask any questions that they have, but also to hear from us about what's happening in the city of Mount Juliet related to its police services. So thank you all. And Carrie will get this to you. All right, let's open it up for questions, folks. If you have any questions, just type that in the comments and Rich and I will be glad to get to those. So I'm going to scroll up, Rich, and just see if I can see anything here. I saw some stuff coming through.
Oh, before I forget, our prescription drug bin in the lobby is back open. We opened it up earlier this week. So, good. Folks, if you have unused prescriptions or old prescriptions you need to recycle safely, you can bring them into the lobby. The drug bin is back open.
Yeah, cool. We have to close it, Rich, because that's really a program managed by the state.
Correct.
Kind of house it, provide for it, collect from it. But they provide special bins that the drugs drop into, and they're sealed. And when the state gets real busy, we don't always get the bins and it backs up. So that's when we have to close it until we get a fresh bin to collect the drugs. But it seems like we have some fresh bins and now it's back open. So good deal. Awesome. This comment question from Elizabeth, she was talking about the numbers, how they were impressive, and wish more departments would discuss the different numbers for learning and knowing the charges in certain crimes, and gives the people of the community a better understanding of what all the department does and deals with. So thank you for that. Mickey here, I really appreciate your community communication. Thanks for all you do. Georgina just saying, glad the community service officer was not injured, but how does one miss in daylight a bright yellow truck with a sign on it? So Rebecca here, this is why people need to move over and slow down when someone is being helped on the roadway. Tom commenting, this is just an example of how the relationships are made with the community. So good stuff here. Going through here, a lot of MJPD lives where people entered. Elizabeth, she's from Florida, so she wasn't eligible. So sorry, Elizabeth, about that. Maybe we can do a drawing one day for folks who are not in the immediate area, just to give everyone a chance.
But thank you for watching from Florida.
Yeah, absolutely. So Mickey here, does the police department accept old tattered USA flags for disposal? And Mickey, we do. Just come by the office and turn them in, and then we will ensure they get to the right place for a respectful disposal. A question here from Larry about the Hickory Hills house fire. So Larry, we don't have any information on that. That is being handled by the fire department investigators. with the state fire marshal's office and also the insurance investigation. They haven't released anything on that as of yet, but they eventually will, to try to figure out what occurred. They may or may not be able to figure that out. Sometimes when a fire burns so hot, whatever made it burn could be destroyed. But hopefully we'll have some insight, but still nothing on that yet. All right, Rich, you got anything else? I don't see any much questions coming in.
I think that's about got it for today.
That's about it for the day. What do you have on your agenda for the rest of the day?
Just working on some TBI stats.
TBI stats?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got you. Getting all that complete. Good deal. You had a busy morning, so you haven't been able to get to that yet, have you?
Yeah, it's been a busy day.
Just to wrap up so you can get to it so you're not here till 8 o'clock.
Oh, no, I don't mind doing this a bit.
I got you. Cool. Good deal.
Anytime I get to show off the Cubs stuff in the background.
You're showing off the Cubs stuff in the background. You have
the Chicago skyline back there.
Gotcha. Is that a hat on the dog?
That's a hat on the dog. That's a police hat on the dog.
Okay. Old McGruff. That McGruff, I guess it's a puppet, has been around this police department
a long time.
Probably 40 years. It just gets passed around to different offices since then. So that is the McGruff, the crime dog, that has been around, again, at this police department for many, many years.
Yeah, the last person who had him when he got promoted, I inherited him from him. And by sheer luck, when normally I keep him up there on top of my cabinet behind my head there, folks, so you can see him. And it was funny, the first day I had him in here, Lieutenant Wesley Neely, a lot of folks know Lieutenant Neely, happened to pop in here, and he said, I wondered where that old thing went. I used to use that back in the days when I was a dare officer. So apparently it's been around here that long.
Yeah, Wesley has been around here for a while, since 1970 something. Am I right?
Probably.
No, he's been here since the 80s, 84. I think 1980. He's been here a while.
He's been here a hot minute.
Over 30 years. We appreciate Wesley and all he does and his experience and knowledge. So that the veterans and stuff, that's a good knowledge to have around here for sure.
Indeed.
That's why we keep McGruff too, just to remind us. All right, good deal, folks. Thank you so much for joining this live broadcast. As always, it's an honor and privilege to serve our wonderful community. We do not take your support for granted, and we do everything we can to try to serve as best as we can to keep this community safe, but to also ensure that you are satisfied with our police services. So thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful, safe weekend, and we will all see you soon. Take care, everyone.